I'm building this miter station to replace this folding stand that I've been using for a couple of years, and I'm following my modular workbench design. Now to build the frame and tops, I'm just going to be using 2x4s, so I'm starting by cutting 8 posts all at 30 inches. Next I'm cutting 8 width stretchers all at 21 3/4 inches. And then I'm going to cut 8 depth stretchers all at 19 inches. Everything is connected together with pocket screws, so I'm adding pocket holes to the ends of all of the stretchers. My first step of assembly is building 4 frames. I'm building these out of the posts and width stretchers. With the 4 frames, I'm building 2 separate carts. So to build the cart, I'm connecting 2 frames together using the depth stretchers. And notice how I have an offset here. The 2x4 is just raised up by another 2x4 to offset it. Each of these individual carts are going to have wheels, so of course I'm just adding some extra blocking here so there's more space for the wheel to sit on. Each of these carts is a wing of the miter station, so I'm going to need some metal stretchers here to put the miter saw on. I'm measuring my miter saw, so you of course should do this too, but I'm oversizing it. I'm cutting 4 middle stretchers at 28 inches. And once again, I'm also using pocket screws to connect everything. That's part of the modular design here. I discovered it's actually really strong using pocket screws on 2x4s. I whipped up a quick guide here just to help measure the offset for the miter saw, just because the top of the 2x4 in the middle stretcher has to be offset by the height of the miter saw table. And I hope this also gives you a good picture of the benefit of using this pocket screw design on my modular workbench, because this way it's easy to add on to. But now I'm ready to add the tops. All of the tops, once again, are going to be made from 2x4s. And this works, but of course a great option would be MDF, particle board, plywood, any of those sheet goods that are nice and stable because they'll stay flat. You don't have to worry so much about warping. I'm attaching all of the tops just using some 1/4 bolts, and of course the benefit here is you can always shim the tops with some washers to fine tune the height of everything. Something you can do is also allow for a little bit of room for expansion with these, but like I mentioned before, if you use a sheet good, that's actually a really great option for not concerning yourself about wood movement. The miter station is now at a functional state, so I figured now is a better time than any to move away this folding stand and move in the miter station to its spot. Next, I have to add some cabinets to the miter station. Now, I do have measurements on screen here for the sizes I used. I'm just assembling my cabinet boxes with pocket screws, but of course, the great thing about this design is you can make your cabinet boxes however you want. I did have to make a custom size cabinet for the middle, which is unfortunate for my modular design, but I figured I'm always using the middle for dust collection, so this is okay. Next, I'm adding cabinet doors to all of the cabinets on this miter station. And of course, there's not going to be room for tool storage because I'm going to be filling these up with a shop vac, chip collection, and a scrap bin. But the great thing about this modular design is I can always swap these cabinets with drawers from another workbench if I need just an open cabinet or cabinet with shelves somewhere else. Because I'm having a scrap cabinet on the right hand side, I'm just adding a simple slot in the door so I can easily throw scraps in. With the cabinets complete, you can see I have the shop vac over on the left, chip collection in the middle, with the pedal for the shop vac, and over on the right hand side the scrap bin. Now I can finally add the stop block here, which I'm going the miter slot route instead of extended fence. I'm also adding a very shallow groove next to the miter slot. This is where I'm going to put an adhesive measuring tape, just so the workpieces aren't rubbing against that. To make my stop block, I'm just cutting down a piece of scrap maple to 3.5 by 6 inches, but the really great thing about using the miter slot designed for a stop block versus the fence, you have a lot of freedom to make the stop blocks however you want, or multiple different kinds. For the pointer, I used my 3D printer, and of course you could make this out of plywood or solid wood or even metal, but this is a really great reason to combine a 3D printer with the rest of your workshop tools. My very last step here is simply adding the adhesive measuring tape, and the great thing about this 3D printed pointer, it's adjustable so I can always fine tune it to get the exact right measurement.